You know, hey.
Hey everybody, come on in here.
Come on in, guys.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Tuesday. We at it again. Hey Michelle. It's Tuesday. We at it again. Hey, welcome to Dating God's Way on a great Tuesday night.
Hey.
Thank you all for joining. Good to see you all. Like and love,
Yeah.
share.
Like, love, and share.
Yes, I like that. Like, love, and share.
Go ahead, Dad. Like, love, and share. Yeah. Not just on Facebook, everywhere. Like, love, and share.
Yes, like, love, and share. Yes, yes, yes. You'll be amazing how far sharing a cheeseburger will go.
Go ahead. Not the cheeseburger. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah, I'm going the way of the cheeseburger tonight.
Go ahead.
We look a lot different tonight than we do other nights.
Yeah. My
Usually
office is under some construction.
me too. So we have some different backgrounds and some different camera angles and
Yeah.
um, so yeah. Yeah, hey Tata. What up, Law?
Hey, y'all.
Good to see you all tonight. Pray that you guys have had a great week thus far.
Yes. Prayer week has been amazing.
Yeah, yeah. Whew, man. So yes, Tuesday night, and I think we're ready to get at it. My son is kind of making me nervous. He's using an air fryer for the first time.
I was with him the first part of it.
Okay.
He's only taken it out by himself, but I've been with him. So
Yeah.
all is well.
Even though my kids are almost adults, I babied them a lot. What's up, Cavante? I babied them a lot.
We didn't just baby them. We were intentional. We intentionally parented them.
Yeah, I babied them a lot, and so new experiences for them. Um, One son, he made breakfast all on his own this morning, sausage, pancakes, the whole 9 yards. He did it all on his own, and so God bless him. I pray that everything worked out good for
It
him.
did work out. Mom was in the next room and I heard everything. It worked out great.
Amen. Amen. But they are great cooks. They cook well. But what they don't do or hardly do is that they don't do dishes. So we got to work on
So
that.
they are their mother's children.
Mother's children.
For sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, tonight, guys, guess what we are talking about tonight? Stay out of my business. Okay.
Stay out of my business.
Stay out of my business. So what we talk about
Stay
tonight?
out of mind your own bizwax.
Mind your own business. And first of all, I just want to start off by saying minding your business is biblical. There's an actual scripture that says mind your business.
Okay.
Did y'all know this? There is an actual scripture that says to mind your business. And so I think that's just we were just First Thessalonians 4, about 11. It says, "Stay calm and mind your business."
Turn with me to First Thessalonians 4.
Go ahead, First Thessalonians.
First Thessalonians in 4 and scroll down with me.
11.
Go down with me all the way down. What verse is?
I'm putting it right here in the chat. I'm putting it right here in
Go
the chat.
down with me to all the way to the
Doing
verse.
the most, and most. I'm putting it right in the chat. Yo,
First Thessalonians 4 and 11. And when you got it, press the like and love button for us on tonight. Yes, we will be more. We will be more.
we're not trying to do none of that.
Oh,
Look, stay calm, mind your own business, do your own job. That's just straight up First Thessalonians 4 and 11, Dad. That's just it.
wow.
Just the
So wow. So the Message Bible actually have "Stay Calm" in it, like the T-shirt "Stay Calm."
yeah,
Wow. Will be calm.
yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Go ahead. Okay, mind your own business. Okay, that's just what we starting right there tonight with the scripture tonight because you guys,
Dre, what's up, Dre?
hey, minding your business is important. Like minding your business is an important element, and but when we really get into this subject tonight, what we're really talking about, because I want to get into our topic tonight about minding your business, because I know y'all like what we talking about. What we're really talking about tonight is, one of the relationship ruiners. I don't know if you guys know this, but one of the relationship ruiners is other people. Other people can be a relationship ruler. What I say? A
The
relationship
music
ruiner
ruining, yeah,
can
ruining.
ruin your relationship. Okay. But I just want to say, like, so Message Bible says that, right? But Second Thessalonians 4 NIV also, you should mind your own business. So it's in multiple versions, just FYI. Mind your own business, just in case you thought it's just Message version being ratchet. It's a lot of ones that say mind your own business. And this is one element that gets a lot of relationships. It ruins a lot of relationships. Letting people into your relationship can demolish that joint.
Whoa,
I
demonic.
mean, demolish it. And I'm gonna
Ooh,
tell you some ways it happens. Some ways it happens. People having an opinion about your relationship. That's one way. Having opinions or entertaining opinions about your relationship.
true, true, true.
Entertaining um conversations about your relationship. Number two, getting advice from someone who is not counseling, not doing no type of nothing, just getting advice. That's another way that you invite the advice in. Okay, so the first one is opinion. Second one is you invited it in, and the
Hmm.
third way that relationships can ruin is you know different dysfunction that is already in your family dynamic or dysfunction that's in your friend dynamic that then you bring into the relationship.
Mm.
Dysfunctional ways of operating that you bring into the relationship. Oh yeah, me and my booby, I talk, me and my best friend, I talk every night at 10:30. Dysfunctional ways that you bring into the relationship can also bring in other business that don't belong.
Yeah.
What you think about that, Pastor, tonight?
Well, because really, stand in your own, stay, mind your own business, keep out of my business, and everything. But I think the reality is that somebody else's reality becomes my playground,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It
Place of
becomes my
consideration. Yeah,
yeah, because I don't, I can, I can, I can ignore my business because your business is my distraction. So as
yeah,
long so as long as I can get into your business, I don't have to I can keep passing off my business that
yeah,
I should be tending to,
yeah,
right? And so yeah, but having people in your business will strain your relationships, not only your relationship but your relationships when others are um wow we'll go deeper, but while others is in your relationship, it will strain it if you put them in there, if you allow them in there, if they have access to it. it will cause you unwanted frustrations.
Within your
But
relationship. Yes.
part of that could be your fault too because you in everybody's business.
Could be. Yeah. And
Could be.
so, I think one of the things that we have to really talk about, Pastor Will, is having an understanding of, you know, how this starts within a relationship. Because I think that it really starts at the very beginning in the dating stage. Okay. Starts in the dating stage because this is Dating God's Way Plus. It starts in the dating stage. So, how do you talk to people about the person while you're dating? That's your first question for you tonight. How do you talk to people about the person that you're dating? Okay. Are you in a place where you're trying to get people to be agreeable with the person you're dating? Okay. This is a trait that you invite people in your business. So while you're dating, are you the type of person that's trying to get a lot of like opinions about, he do this, he like this, she like this, she like that? Are you the type of person that's trying to get an opinion from somebody about your choice? Because that's going to be problematic and that's going to invite people into your business. Secondarily, during the dating stage, and we find out that we're the type of person that when things start getting shaky ground, that we're looking for someone to either validate our choice or invalidate our choice, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he made this amount. Oh yeah, he do this. Oh yeah, she could cook. Oh yeah. So when we look for people to validate or invalidate our choices, we're also maybe inviting them into our business in a way that's going to not serve us in the future.
Yeah.
Right? That
Right.
starts in the dating stage. And so one of the things that we did that I really liked, Pastor Will, is when we were dating, we were very intentional about who we let in and who we did not. Okay. And the first thing that we decided was family was out.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
was first. That was the first thing. Family was out.
but before they were in, um, before marriage counseling and
Sure.
a discussion we had, first they were in. They were allowed in.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's talk
with
about how they were in, though, because I think that's important. How were they in, Pastor Will?
Yeah. Well, they were in basically about what they knew of us individually. And they were in our business based on is that the kind of person you want to be with? If that's is that your type? Um, can they provide? Do you want to provide? Are they after your money? Man, I ain't had no money. Are they after your money? All of those other things,
So, in other words, family was helping you to asking you questions to help you make a decision.
Yeah.
Yes, right. And so that's a healthy space, you guys. The space of you when your friends and family, because they know you, they want to protect you. The healthy space is asking you questions so you make a decision, not to manipulate you to make their decision.
Right.
Because there's a difference in that, Pastor Will. We do
There
realize
is a
that,
difference.
right?
Yeah, there is a difference. Yes.
Helping you make your own choice and or helping you to see blind spots or things like that is the healthy side of your business where people can land. But the unhealthy side is when it gets into manipulating or controlling your decision by saying, I know what's best for you. I know, I know, I know. That's when it can become unhealthy. You agree
Yeah,
with that, Pastor?
I agree with that.
Yeah, but it can get unhealthy. I think, also when you talk about getting opinions, what you're really doing, talking about that healthy space of engagement with your family and friends, a healthy space of engagement is that space of knowing you, right? Knowing when you're coming out of character, or you're coming out of yourself for a person. So helping you to somewhat discern when you off. I think that's an important element, the healthy element of involvement.
Yeah. I mean, we all need checks and balances.
Yeah.
But
Sis,
those but go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, we all need checks and balances, but those checks and balances have to um they have certain limits
Yeah,
of what's being checked and what's being balanced.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and I think like healthy checks and balances are good, but like as you were saying, when the checks and balances mask itself and is really deceit or deception or trying to take over your decision,
yep.
right? I think that's where we may have an issue with. That's where you feel like you become powerless in, because you don't feel like you are going back to Sunday or going back to our last talk. It doesn't seem like you're controlling your own narrative.
Yeah, because you're not. Somebody else is controlling your narrative like a puppet, making choices for you by telling you what you think. Right. And sometimes people are in your business because you don't know how to make decisions. You're not willing to make a decision, so other people's opinions override your thinking. Because we're talking about dating God's way. And God's way, God didn't make you to be controlled by other people or manipulated by other people.
Now, if you're in an abusive relationship, you need to get somebody in your business.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct. That's
All right.
correct. That's correct. We talking about dating God's way. We're not talking about nothing crazy going on. Something
Yeah, I
crazy
know we
going
talked
on.
about dating God's way, but I need, but people that are dating God way could still be in an abusive relationship.
That's right, because they didn't got connected to somebody foolery. If
Yeah.
that's the case, right. So that's why we talked about healthy engagements with family prior to marriage. But even if there is an abusive situation or something like that, healthy engagement, there can be levels of healthy engagement. There can be levels of healthy engagement.
Hey, Kim.
Right? Hey, there can definitely be levels of healthy engagement. And so I think it's important, when we talk about this, Pastor Will, there's healthy engagement. And then I think there's a difference between healthy engagement and then involvement. Okay. So in parenting, let me tell you about this. In parenting, they talk about involvement or engagement. Okay. Co-brother D about, go ahead. Well, somebody get my somebody. Okay. Go ahead. There's this thing about involvement and engagement in parenting, and the same thing is going to apply, right? Involvement implies that you're doing something to someone. Engagement, you're doing something with, right? So let me break those two things down. Involvement, okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat so you guys can see it up on our screen. Okay, it's two levels. Okay, y'all ready for this? Okay. Involvement implies doing to. Okay. In contrast, engagement implies doing with, right? And so when you have involvement, when people get involved in your affairs, okay, they're doing something to your relationship. They're doing something to your ability to make decisions. But when somebody is in engagement, doing with, that means that you have allowed access, right? And you are engaging in healthy conversation with your family member or with that person about, healthy ways of discerning, am I coming outside of myself? Is there something wrong? Okay. Because that has to be discerned within relationship, and or if my thing is off or whatever, can be places of discernment, but that's a doing with. When we get in trouble, Pastor Will, is when we get to involvement. When people are involved without access or being invited, that becomes doing too.
Now, at okay, so between in a dating stage and the marriage stage, how does this transverse or what does this look like? Because does it look the same way in dating as it does in marriage?
No. So I think, we're gonna flip to the marriage side of it. There should be less engagement and no involvement in marriage. right? I think, in marriage is like, what should we be doing with people outside of ourselves? Right? Unless you're doing with a counselor, unless you're doing with counseling, unless you're doing with safe spaces. But the family dynamic and the friend dynamic is too close to it in most cases. And most people have a problem with having boundaries of not making it about their person. They're going to take a side. What you think about that?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, but I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of just wanted to be clear or have some understanding that as you are dating, the level of keeping people out of my business is not as severe as it is when you're married. When the two have become one,
Become one. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when you are dating, um, while you don't want any, as you get deeper into your relationship, um, still, you will need that confidant, that best friend or whatever to help you, um, to be accountable to, or to keep you, make sure that you are
Make sure you
being.
ain't getting crazy.
Thank you.
Because when
Yeah,
you get in a relationship, sometimes you can get woo,
yeah,
you can just get out there. And so that grounding is important. It's important for people to keep you grounded. Look, when me and Pastor Will went real quick. We needed some grounding. Are we going over the edge? Those are things that I wanted to do with people. I want to have engagement with people that know me. Am I ready for this? Am I ready to be married? I thought I was already, but having, people in my life that actually knew me, not people that had an opinion, but the people that actually did life with me, that was key to making a healthy decision. But once you get to marriage, if you ain't ready, you ain't ready. Should be less involvement, Pastor Will.
it should be less involvement. It should be less
Really,
involvement.
yeah, it should be no that I don't think should be no involvement at all, Pastor.
Yeah, yeah.
Should be no
I agree.
involvement at all.
I agree with that. Yeah. So they have to, yeah, keep them out of your business. Especially when you get married. Keep family and friends. Uh,
Out
you
of
know,
business.
usually most, well, I don't know about most marriage, but we usually say, especially with our kids now, but we always went by this, is that, we don't talk about anything outside of our house that's unsanctioned.
That's right. We
You
we
know,
have agreement of what we talk about with people, not in a controlling way. Because I know that there's a negative connotation to that, but
yeah,
more so in a way of like we're gonna make decisions as a family, whether it's mom and dad is making them or you're making them as children, so that any decision that's made, we make it together. In other words, you can't go outside of the home and ask for an opinion about a decision we're gonna make inside the home.
right. Because most decisions are unpopular anyway.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So you can't look. You can't go to your grandfather, your grandmother, your auntie. I don't like this decision my parents making. Well, you live here with us. Now you can always go live with your grandparents, right?
Go live with whoever take you in.
That's it. Because that's the boundary. The boundary is we make choices for this family under this roof that we live under. I think that should be that should be important fact. Now, when our kids make this all the way clear, go to counseling or therapy or whatever, they are clear to talk about anything they need to talk about for those purposes. So I just want to make that clear, Pastor Will, that
Yeah.
anything that happens, they can talk to their therapist, their counselor, but don't be going talking to family about stuff, getting opinions about how we living over here. That's not what we doing.
Yeah.
Because we have boundaries about who in the business. Okay, you're not paying no bills in this joint. You're not in the business. What we do with our money, not your concern, because you don't. That's not your business.
Because you have to realize is that even though all the people you have around you is for you, but not every decision that you make, they're not for. And so
Yeah.
you want to make so I mean the idea is keeping people out of your decision making
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
or and jumping your decision. Because
Yeah.
somebody will hear what you're doing and they'll jump what you're doing.
Jump. You said they jump. What you doing? Like jump in front of it.
Yep, they'll jump right in
Yep.
front of it.
Yeah. Jump in front of what you're doing. Okay. And so, like, I think that, it has to be a discerning and knowing when, the influences are coming in. I think one of the things that I love that Pastor Will did in our beginning data stages was we talked about what everybody was saying. I told him what my family was saying. He's saying what his family was saying. Like, we just talked about it straight up because we hear with each other. So I think that's a number one rule is transparency, right? If there is a concern, right, whether it, concern about motives or whatever, if you're really serious about being in a relationship with that person, you need to disclose it so it can be addressed, and so they're not becoming secrets between you and that person in that relationship, and you
Yeah.
see how they react.
Here's a tip, man. If you really want your lady to be vulnerable to you in conversations and everything, try being vulnerable first.
Yeah.
Try being vulnerable first.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good tip. Try being vulnerable first. And so that openness really did, prepare us for some of that hateration and all of that we was gonna get from our courting stage,
Yeah.
Um, it really prepared us, those open, vulnerable conversations really prepared us for the next stage. So some things you can do to keep people out of your business is, that number one thing is having that honesty with your partner as well. Like have that open conversation with your partner. That's in the dating stage too. That's not just in marriage, but in the dating stage too. Talk about motives, talk about concerns that people are seeing, and you discern if they're really concerns or not. Because maybe people are seeing something you don't see.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like the way he talked to you. I don't like the way he look. Some of that you need to be paying attention to. Is it too crazy? I need to find out. And so be able to listen, be able to talk to the person you're dating about some of those things and see what the reaction is like. Right? Yeah, I do have some of these tendencies. That might be something I need to work on before, we go to the next stage. That should be the response if that's the case, if it really is there. And then you want to say about that point, Pastor?
Nope.
Okay. I think the second thing is, make sure that you know where the separation, where it starts and when it ends. When it ends and begins, what the boundaries are between your relationship and your family.
Yeah.
Know what it is. Okay? Know what the boundary is, what's the separation space between your relationship and your family. In other words, if we are going to go to holidays or whatever, go to holidays, go to, whatever the agreement is that we've made as a family, right? Then that's a boundary because that's a family decision that we've now made that we're going to go to your house for this, your parents for this, my parents for that, whatever. That should be a place of separation. We've already made an agreement on that.
Yeah.
So you have to know what those places of separation is. Money should be a place of separation.
Yes, I agree. But I think Kim right here is making a good point for me. Like, let me mind my business. I'm the sibling that don't forgive. I'm gonna mind my business.
Yeah.
Right. And part of that is that, when you allow people in your business, when you tell somebody about somebody, what you're doing is that you are instructing them on how to think about a person.
Yeah.
On how to think about the other one. So
That's
now
true.
their engagement with them is through that negative or potentially negative lens.
That's very true.
Well, you ain't got no job. You ain't gonna never have a job. You ain't never gonna whatever, right? Um, and that's that lens you will always seem to hold them to. Like, um, every time Lim you lose a job, then Lim you can't never keep a job.
Go ahead. Bring soul food right on in.
Go
That's
back
it.
on there. And so we have to be like not be careful. That's why you can't have. That's one of the reasons
Why
you
you can't
shouldn't
have people in your business?
have in your business, because it gives people the right to now have an opinion about that person before they meet them, after they meet them, and during the relationship.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And look, like about the non-forgiveness, it's true. If things get a little too heated and you come up on my family member, I ain't gonna say I'm forgetting that real quickly. I'm just gonna I
Yeah,
ain't really look and Pastor E, I'm pretty much a see both sides type of person, but look, you getting too close with the hands. I'm like, we might gotta roll up. So that's true. That's why you gotta mind your business.
well, you gotta bind your
Because we ready to roll up and then y'all didn't reconcile. That's what be happening.
happens all the time.
Right. We ready to roll up and y'all is back together, shooing. Okay. And so that's another reason why you have to know those lines of separation. If there is a real problem within your marriage and you want help, there are counselors and therapists out here, y'all. That's it. To go get help. And I think that's where those lines of separation got to be important, because once you bring that negativity, it's sometimes hard for people to ever see people, like that again. I think a third one that goes along with this, Pastor Will, is you also have to establish some rules for when your family visit, live with you, or you go to their house and stay. You got to have some rules for that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I think that people just walk right into your house or whatever. That might be some issues for the other person. So you got to have some conversation about what's that, what it look like when we get there. What happened if a fight break out? Do you get into it, or you just stay out of it? Like, that's a conversation. You go to somebody else's family and they might do all that and then be okay with each other, but you still mad. So I think you gotta have some boundaries around, like, you and your mate has to decide what are the rules for when the family is together.
Yeah.
Can they show up? Can they show up unexpectedly, or do you expect people to call first? Those are things you got to talk about as a couple. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I think, one of the last things I would say, we started talking about this one, is like, don't discuss every argument you have in your relationship with your family and friends. Soon as you run crying to them about what happened, everybody is going to try to then sway you to feel differently about your partner.
Yeah. Yeah. Or not sway, or they're going to try to confirm or affirm the decision that you made about your
Right.
partner, which could be wrong in itself.
Yeah. They're going to be pumping you up because they your people.
They're your
That's
people.
true. They your people. So even after you become one, you still little boo-boo that grew up, you still that baby. Like, that's just it. And so you're not always gonna have that, you're not gonna always have that type of parent that is like I felt like, I felt like my grandmother she did really good at, like, sometimes too much. Like, I wanted her to always, like, take outside. She was good about being like, nah, you're wrong. You won't always have a person like that. And I hated that. I'm like, Mom, you my person. And she like, you need to get it together. You won't always have that with them family.
You get people on Facebook in your in the middle of your business.
Let's get
I'm
into
I'm
that one next.
I'm looking at it now. You know, it's social media,
Let's get into
and
that one now, Pastor. That's
yeah,
exciting.
you end up getting you know thousands of different opinions about what color you like. You know, it's just um,
Facebook is never the place to get information about your relationship.
it's never the place
Social
to
media
bleed.
is not the place to
Not
bleed, right? Like,
right.
it's not the place, y'all, for relationship advice. It's just not. Social media is not it because at the end of the day, people are only seeing a small portion of a person's life,
Yeah.
right? A little bit. And now
You're right, Kim. I watch all the ratchetness.
I'm
It's,
trying to get him out of ratchetness.
I watched
But
the I watched the entire train just crash.
yes,
I watched.
because the train is going to crash. The more you're looking for social media to validate, to make you right, try to figure out what you should do next, that's the more. And you know what? Sometimes it's not just the people that's putting posts out, but also the people that's lurking on other people's pages, seeing what's going on with their relationship. All of those is influencing the business. How you think about relationships now. We have to be really careful about that, you guys.
Very careful. Very careful.
Social media advice. Social media advice, right? Social media advice. And also, I think, social media, I think this is another one, Pastor Will, about keeping people out of your business. Stop telling people every time you get with somebody, every time you break up with somebody. Because I'm going to tell y'all, we waiting. We like, what happened? Because we not in your life for real. So I've had this happen to me before, Pastor Will. Like, I see somebody and like, I don't see their page all the time. They in a relationship and I'm like, oh, how you doing with so-and-so? And they like, oh, this is my boyfriend. I'm like, oh, sorry. Hey, dude. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stage when you was out there telling it all before things was solidified, you really invited people into your business and you weren't really ready for people to be in your business.
Yeah.
The relationship could not handle the onslaught of people that come from social media sometimes. That's correct. Snitching by association. I definitely was snitching. I didn't know. And so, like, your relationship is not always ready to go public.
Yeah. So when I look at Will and Jada,
Go ahead.
and I I look at not per se their relationship, but just see how they allowed the whole world into their relationship through
Yeah.
the red table talk or whatever, and whoever the rapper was or whatever, and that culminated into this slap. And it's like everybody know what's right for Will and Jada, right?
Yeah.
And and that's kind of hard to I can't imagine being in a relationship like that where all of these outside opinions are weighing on if we have a relationship, but all these outside opinions are weighing on my relationship, and not only my relationship, but the relationship of my kid's mom, right?
Yeah.
So I
Right.
couldn't imagine that kind of weight.
Yeah. Yeah. It puts a big strain on the relationship, right? If everybody is in your relationship, that adds another level that you now have to deal with. Right? It's already complicated by the fact that you are your own people. Y'all have your own things going on. It's already complicated by some of those facts. But then you're gonna add on top of that. I think it's a no-go. And so we have a question here tonight. And y'all, of course, bring your questions in. If you want to come on, there it's pinned here. If you want to come on tonight, ask a question. But let's get into some of these questions tonight. So the first one, Does that go for posting photos on social media too? I have an opinion about it, but you go ahead, Pastor.
Yeah, I think to an extent, well, not even to an extent, absolutely, right? Um, I think it does because you're publicly displaying, who are you in the relationship with, and is your relationship ready to take that kind of weight, not only by you and your people, but by that other person and their people, and also by people that don't want to see you ever have you each either of you ever have anyone, especially your exes.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell y'all what happened with me and Pastor Will. When I tell you, I, people was finding out. It wasn't even social media back then.
It wasn't
That
even,
joke was that joke was word of mouth. People was finding,
the internet was just beginning.
the
Well,
church, the
the
church,
internet as we know it was just starting.
but the church social media was on point. I'm telling you, people was like left and right knowing, and
Yeah.
it introduced things early in our relationship that it was a lot, right? So I'm just thinking if it was even social media back then, how that could have increased. I think you do have to have a conversation about what does this mean. For example, what if we break up? And people hate that conversation, but it's a maturity. It's like now we've painted that whole picture, and then what if it don't last?
And that photo always lives. Even when you delete it, somebody probably could have saved it on their own hard drive. So you don't know where that photo is living at.
Yeah, somebody else posted it. I think you just have to have conversations about how fast we go public and how public we go. And are we both ready for what's going to come from going public? Because also, you don't know that person's family. You don't know what their family dynamic is. Like that could be another place that becomes unhealthy because now their family is weighing in on the relationship because they see something on social media before the person is ready for their family to be involved. It can get real tricky. So yeah, I think that's a place of conversation. There is no like right or wrong answer. It is more so
Yeah.
a
It's more
wisdom
so,
conversation that you
yeah.
need to have with the other person about readiness to unveil what's happening in your relationship.
And then you don't want, wisdom says you don't want your new boo to be asked to be answering questions about your old boo.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all that's what happened a lot of times. We hear that's a lot. Y'all just don't know how many times people go public on social media and then the ex go reach out to the new boo. Oh, so you dating him or you dating her or whatever. There's a lot of stuff gets uncovered. And so, yeah, I think it's make sure you're ready.
Make sure you're ready.
Make sure the relationship is ready to go public.
Are you ready?
Next question. So you don't think a couple should publicly defend their relationship? Absolutely not. I don't, Pastor Will. We've had a lot of things. I say it from our own experience. We've had a lot of things to defend, per se. Like people had a lot of opinions about us that was just untrue. Like things that was just like, this is into marriage now. I'm not talking about dating, I'm talking about marriage now. People had a lot of opinions about us that were not true, about money stuff, about all types of things. Why we made certain decisions we made. People had a lot of opinions about that were lies and untrue. And at the end of the day, those things still live out there because those people are ignorant. That's it. Okay. Sorry, all y'all that I'm talking about you tonight, but I'm talking about you if you was in our business. I'm talking to you. You was ignorant. Okay. And so at the end of the day, you got to decide that even though they are ignorant, that you're not going to publicly defend your relationship because me and Will know the truth and we live the truth. And so why do you have to defend something if what's true is true? And that's why I think that's why I don't think that you have to publicly defend.
So, Kim, you were never able to be. You can ever successfully defend yourself against a lie. it's impossible because a lie can keep going. They could keep compounding lie on top of lie. You will never be able, no matter how much truth you meet it with, you'll never be able to defeat a lie with the truth. All you can do is just continue to live in the truth of what you are living in.
Yeah.
And let them, whoever it is, let them drown in the lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. We ain't
yeah.
doing it. You don't need to defend it.
Kim, Kim, you getting too old to fight now. They put you in adult jail. You ain't no more juvies for you no more. You ain't got time for adult jail.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have to defend anything that's not true. That's one thing. But also, you're talking with people that are unwilling. They already have a perception about you, right? And that's why you got to keep people out your business because they already have a perception about you or your spouse or whoever they or your boyfriend. Or you got to keep people out your business because they already have a narrative that they've created about your relationship. And the only way to keep that narrative from getting in is to talk to each other, but also just keep them out. Just keep them out.
Hey, we got the best friend on tonight. Hey, Toto.
I know my best friend. Welcome to Thank God's Right, y'all. That's my best friend here tonight. Now she do know probably all Pastor E stories at this point. She know all my stories. Okay, here we go. How do you discern if the person is using I don't like people in my business to not be accountable for the relationship? Or maybe this is a different topic.
No, I think this is the same topic,
This
right?
is it right here. This is what we talking about tonight.
And yes, I don't like people in my business, right? To hide from accountability. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
But there are levels to this, right? And like Pastor E was saying, like this is wisdom, talk here.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't like people in my business only to an extent of okay, then what's your business? You know what is our business then? I mean,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here, right?
Right.
Um,
You smacking the crap out of me the way you talking to me. Like, what are we talking about?
Now, if we're talking about we don't want people in our business because we are building, we are growing, and we're trying to keep people out, or are we talking about this a pride thing?
Yeah.
I don't want people in my business because I'm so prideful, and I don't want people to know that my blood is red because everybody think right now my blood is a different color, and I don't even bleed like that. You know what I'm saying? So, how much pride is wrapped up into that?
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to. I think that's what we have to break down. Is that pride speaking, or is that really a place of honest? Like, um, I don't want people in my personal space as we are making these types of decisions or going through these things.
I think one space is with this is also who is the people that you don't like people that you like, for example, going to counseling or therapy as a couple, or individually. Okay, I can't go to counseling, I can't go to therapy because I don't like people in my business. It's like, okay, so basically you just going to keep doing the same dumb stuff over and over. You're never gonna grow and develop. Right. And so like I think that's where you when you get into spaces like that, can't nobody ever tell you nothing. Then you know that person has a pride issue, right? They never gonna grow. You never gonna. You have a problem. This your 18th marriage,
Yeah,
and you don't like people in your business. You better get somebody in your business so they can tell you why you keep getting married. So that is the that's the difference. Growth and development is definitely a difference. Growth and development, or when you need help. Everybody need help sometimes.
everybody need help sometimes.
Yes, there's a coach for that. There's a therapist for that. There's somebody for that.
Everyone falls in love sometimes. I don't know about you, but it ain't no crime.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna be hearing that in my head. No exception to the rule, child. So kind of, you got anything else when we wrap up this session tonight, Pastor?
No, I don't have anything. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, look, stay out my business. Okay, no, I'm sorry. We talked about Will and Jay the other day, and why people go out there and preach about it, Pastor?
Really?
Keep your name out my mouth. They did. You
Was it
heard
good?
that. Stop playing.
Was it spiritual?
Yes, you heard that. I told you the other day about that pastor was like, keep the church out your mouth.
I seen a joke about it. I mean, I seen a parody.
Actually, that was a part of their sermon. But
Wow.
legitly, like in the case of Will Smith, there's really nothing you can really do to keep somebody else's, your spouse or your significant other name out their mouth. Like people just going people just going to do what they're going to do. They're going to say what they're going to say. You, even if you punch somebody in the mouth, they still got their opinion. And so I think keep people out your business. That's our number one thing today too. But number two, like, you cannot go around fighting everybody or defending or going crazy with people that have opinions. Let them have their opinions and make sure your relationship is strong enough to withstand that which is being thrown at it. Because stuff's going to get thrown at your relationship. That's just the answer. Right, Pastor?
Yeah, I mean, like if I was doing like marriage counseling, I would probably in this day and time, I would probably counsel like even married couples like don't go live for 3 years in the first 3 years of your marriage, you know, because you just invite so many, and it's basically the counseling that we received about, don't do such and such after 4 or 5 years or this or that after 7 years or whatever. But now you have to, I think, if I was to counsel someone, I would have to adapt it to the social age that we're living in now, because this social age did not exist in 2000. But here now in 2022, the social age of everything is likable, everything is lovable, and everything is shareable. It's just really, we just invited, there is an open invitation to the wedding, and that open invitation is to, 3,000, however many limit Facebook friends you can have, 5,000, I think it is now.
Go ahead.
And so, it's just really tough to have people in your business that probably won't even come to the wedding.
Yeah, because some people will never allow your relationship to grow from past the stage that they've seen you at some point, right? Like something happens or in the dating stage or whatever, some people will always see you through that light. They will never allow your relationship or you to grow past that point. So, that's another just advocating for just keep the people out. So we talked about healthy engagements. We talked about healthy engagements, doing with in the dating stage, healthy engagements in the marriage stage of, I don't really have a lot for the marriage stage, but counseling, therapy, support system is important in the marriage stage. Support system, people that encourage your marriage.
Yeah.
And then we talked about involvement, people that just get involved, and we on all levels. That one is just a no. So that's dating God's way tonight, you guys. If y'all don't have no more questions, that's dating God's way tonight. Stay out my business.
Yeah.
You ain't paying none of my bills, stay out.
You don't belong there. We at it again.
So in the dating stage, when will you say it's okay to engage people in your relationship? Great. Okay, let's answer this question before we go. Pastor Will, you too fast.
Say bye.
I think it's okay to engage people in your relationship in the dating stage, people that you really do life with, that you can trust, both naturally and spiritually, that have your best interest in mind. It's okay to engage them in a way that's not opinion based, but engage them in a way that helps you make a decision that you really want to make. And I think that was an important point we made earlier. Kamante is, you know, it's really helping you make your own decision, not making a decision for you. So I think that's okay. You know, that's okay early in is to get that, you know, make sure I'm okay and make sure things okay. I think that's okay to have that early engagement within dating.
I think, also, and it's a great question. I think also in
Yeah.
line is that I have to ask, the person that I'm dating, being involved with, to, come and engage with my social circles, and
Yeah.
I'll engage in yours, right? And it won't be from a problem solving basis, but these are our, if you're going to be a part of my life, but this social circle is a part of my life, and that's part of your life, then the social circle that you in now, I'm a part of that, but we are only a part of it inclusive to each other,
Yeah.
right? If I'm out of the picture, I'm out of that social circle. Um, but I think you have to do it that way. I believe that's a safe way to do it, without anybody getting in anybody's business, or without you feeling the need of somebody to get in your business
Stay in your
from that
business.
space.
Stay in your business.
Yeah, to stay in your business from that space.
Yeah.
So yeah, so make sure you're a part of, become a part of each other's social circles
Yeah.
as as associates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for that.
And also, and I'll say this as my last thing, as
Yeah.
far as keeping people out of your business. Um, don't make sly remarks or jokes about who you're dating to others, right? Because people look at that sly remark or that joke or whatever, and they will read in between the lines or attempt to read in between the lines. And
Yep.
so, if you don't put people in your business, they won't be in your business. So
That's right.
don't,
That's
don't
right.
allow them to come in with your remarks or comments and things like that.
Can't nobody come in unless you let them. Because a lot of people have had opinions over the years, but don't make no difference because you ain't in here.
Yeah.
So they can't come in unless you let them in. Just don't let them in.
Just don't let them in. Just don't
Yep.
let them in.
Don't let them in.
Well, family,
We at it again.
we at it again. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for hanging out with us on our
Yeah.
topic tonight. Stay out of my business. But you can get in the Business of Vision Impact Center on Wednesday night at 6:45 for our Bible study. And then again on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, transformation classes, which is kind of our Sunday school. And then, or at 11 o'clock, which is our worship service at Vision Impact Center, 4520 Beach Road, Temple
Yeah.
Hills, Maryland. Hope to see you in the place, not only online. I'd rather see you in person than online. But if you have to be online, join us at 11 o'clock online,
Hey.
at My Vision Community on Facebook.